So yes, we're going to get over and do a bit of detailed mapping this morning just before we get set up. Give ourselves plenty of time. Looks like the weather's good. You can see from here, looks like we've got the visibility, which was the only concern I had.
It's lifting up slowly, so it's okay. You can, on my side, you can.
Fantastic, thank you. So we've got the viz, we've got a nice calm day. It's looking like it's going to be a really good day for it actually. So in terms of the plan, dive boat's going to be stationed just to the north of it, and the dives will all be conducted to the south. If we have any issues, we'll be coming back up to the north again and servicing. So you can always expect us around this area just here. Other than that, we've got a full day of dives. It's 6 dives, and the final dive of the day is going to be the survey dive, which is going to be taking down 3 spotters with me. And we're going to do a nice survey of Ganilda for the permit purposes, and we should be finished and back on board by approximately 4 o'clock this afternoon. That's okay with you?
Yeah, perfect.
Fantastic thing.
Voilà.
Anything else you need to know?
No, you can go ahead. You can start launching.
Thank you. We'll be launching. We'll be in the water in the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
We're on full DP now, so you can.
So the story of the Ganilda is actually a story of stories. It of course starts with the construction of the Ganilda, a beautiful ship constructed in a shipyard in the suburbs of Edinburgh in 1897. A couple of UK owners, not quite sure actually who owned it at one point, but we know that it sailed across the Atlantic in 1901. It must have caught the eye of this man named William Harkness. So he was the inheritor of a vast fortune thanks to Standard Oil. A lot of people know John Rockefeller. Well, there was the Harknesses as well that were involved in the creation of Standard Oil. And William Harkness was the inheritor of a large share of that company from his father when his father passed away. So he had a lot of money to spend. So he seized the ship, the Ganilda, and he must have really loved it because he ended up buying it in 1903. It actually became the flagship of the New York Yachting Club. It was beloved by everyone who saw it. It sailed all the way down to the Caribbean, multiple trips around the Atlantic, and eventually made its way up into the Great Lakes. Sailed it up here in the summer of 1910, but sailing along the south shore of Lake Superior that year, made it as far as Duluth, but he heard about the great fishing on the north side of the lake, so he decided he was coming back the next year. So we've got the summer of 1911 now. We've got Mr. Harkness, his wife, the 2 kids, little kids, boy and a girl on board. He's got a good friend of his friend's wife, a little kid there. Fairly large staff, over 20 people were the crew and the staff on the ship as well too. And they're sailing again through the Great Lakes, now this time all the way up the North Shore. And this is where the story kind of shows that sometimes, pay attention to the locals, and also prepare to spend just a little bit of money as well. So they get to this little town called Port Coldwell, which doesn't even exist anymore, just a little fishing outport. And they're told there, they should really hire a local guide. And so the captain of the ship, the captain of Ganilda says, okay, and he makes plans to hire a guide. And the guide wanted a total of $15. That's all he asked for. A lot, not bad back then, but not the end of the world kind of money when you have the vast fortune that Mr. Harkness had. Once Mr. Harkness heard about this, he said, absolutely not. We do not need a local guide. We are not paying $15. You're ripping me off. End of story. They keep sailing. Next little port they get to, a little community called Jackfish, which again, doesn't exist anymore. Captain inquires about the local conditions, and because the captain is an American captain, the ship is using American charts. So this is early 1900s, so the charts really aren't that well charted for the Canadian side. Again, recommend take on a local pilot. Well, this time we're getting a little more desperate, so this different pilot wants $25, plus also a train ticket from their destination back to the community of Jackfish. Mr. Harkness finds out about this. No way, I am not spending that kind of money. So off they go.
Yeah, let's do that. They're going to make some straps. And this left only have one in the belt. It's zeroing out, yeah. The next time they come out, we'll try and advise them to we're going to be staying facing the Gunilda. So they Thank you. I tell you what, if you just let me go and breathe first, and then I can just move myself in that quickly. Thanks.
Copy that. You couldn't dream of better conditions.
Yeah.
All right, so you see this here on the 3D scan. This is the McGarvey shoal, and which is the shoal that Gunilda hit, which made it sink in the end. And then you see here, it's quite vague, not that high resolution, but this is the wreck of Gunilda, starting with the stern here, and then coming out with the bow.
Clyde, Ringo! My hatch is closed, locked and secure. Equalizing valve is closed. Oxygen is flowing. Both the monitors are on. CO2 scrubber is running. And air conditioning is on. Ready to start timer? Your mark.
Ready to start timer in 3, 2, 1, set.
Okay, timer is started. Are you ready for my full readings?
I am ready for your readings.
Oxygen main stern, 180, over.
Readings complete.
Are you happy with my position? When freeboard's down, you happy I vent tanks?
I'm happy with your position. As soon as your freeboard is down, you have permission to open vents.
And with that, freeboard coming down, opening vents. Chat to you 10 for comms check and USBO wake up.
Standing by for underwater comm check at 10. Ringo topside, I read you loud and clear. How do you read me?
I read you loud and clear. I have you on USB now. Over.
Affirmative. I also have you on the USB out.
Continuing dive. Ascent.
Continuing dive. I will head over to the bow of the Ganilda. Let me know as soon as you have a visual of the shipwreck.
Understood. We'll go.
Positioned directly above the bow of the Gunilda, and he's closing in now. He's only 6-7 meters away, so we should be getting a call pretty soon. They should be getting a visual of the wreck by now.
Visual with the bow.
Ringo topside, beautiful. You have a visual of the bow. That's great news. Enjoy the rest of the dive.
Copy that. Thank you.
How does it feel?
It feels great. A lot of planning went into this, and we're finally here, and it's beautiful conditions. We couldn't ask for better conditions. It's great visibility, no wind, sunny weather, and yeah, we finally reached the wreck, so I'm excited for his dive, but I can't wait to get down there myself.
The Ganilda is unique for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it has been called one of the most well-preserved shipwrecks in the world, and also the most beautiful shipwreck in the world. The reasons for that is partly the environment that it is in Lake Superior. It's very, very cold water typically, which limits a lot of the biological and chemical processes which break down things like metal and wood. Bacterial activity is reduced. But also it was quite unknown for a long time. So it's not had a lot of visitors, a lot of activity in the past. That is potentially changing as the Ganilda becomes more famous around the world. It's been called the second best technical dive in the world, so I think that is going to attract people to it. So that's another thing that we'll be kind of looking for, as any indication that visitors have left anything behind. So we'll be extremely careful when we're doing our dive, our survey, to the point where we're not even going to risk any disturbance of the wreck whatsoever. That's one of our main goals. And that kind of speaks to Viking, and especially Viking science and Viking submarines. It's one of our core missions. We get the chance to visit these unique places around the world. And it's very important to us that we either leave no footprint or we can leave something even better behind. And in this case, it's great because we're contributing to the knowledge of the region and also the stewardship of something really unique. So it's super exciting.
All of the glacier weather off.
Welcome. Well, been a beautiful day diving so far.
Doing it
Got some
from the first group that went down.
You've seen them already, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
John, can you tie up?
Yeah, sure, mate. Okay. Just whilst you're boarding, and then we'll put it on the back one. Come on over.
Yeah.
Over.
Seen some of the footage earlier already this morning. We've had some beautiful conditions for it. It's been absolutely lovely. There's very little current down there. As we descend down the first 80, 90 meters to the bottom here, the vis isn't brilliant, but as we approach the ship, we've got about 9, 10 meters of visibility. It really comes into view. It's lovely. Not too strong on the current, the silt isn't too bad on the ship, and we've just been having a really nice dive all the way along and back again. Important things to note, of course, are that beam that we discussed. As you go down, you'll see you're going to be in the bow, so you're going to point that out to me. We will rise by about 2 meters, we'll come over it, and then we'll go back down on the other side. That rope that we were concerned about is very obvious, very visible. I'm not too worried about it, so don't worry. Point it out when you see it. It's only a small little rope going up like this, and it's vertically right parallel to the side of the ship.
So it's floating up.
It's floating straight up from the ship, and it's a small rope.
Okay.
So we know where it is now. We've done this now several times, which is great. As we go down and approach the ship, that's really, really nice. The ship suddenly comes out. We see it on the sonar. First of all, we'll keep going in very slowly. The terrain obviously is rising, as you would expect. So we stick to the bottom so we can see something, and we'll just come up with it without touching. As we go down, we're going to take some time to make sure we're perfectly buoyant. We get the right buoyancy before we go anywhere near Gunilda. The portholes are really interesting. Whether they're open or not, we still can't tell. So we're hoping that you're going to be able to spot that for us. Because of course, they do look open, but we're not sure whether the shutters are close to the inside or not. So I'll show that to you. The wheelhouse itself is in great condition. We can have a good look at that. We've been able to see the bell. We've been able to see the anchor. We haven't yet spotted the plaque, or I believe one of the tools that you were talking about. Everybody's had a wonderful dive so far, and it's been really, really nice. So I'm looking forward to bringing you down. And then anything you point out, let me know. We'll stop. We'll take our time and we'll have a look at it. Does anyone have any questions?
So when did these folks start their dive?
So they're going to be back on the surface at about 2:09. So we've got about 15 minutes.
So here's the reef over here. You can see the buoy marking it. And so to the east of us here, that's the enter of what they call the Scriber Channel. And the Scriber Channel is the route that they were taking because their ultimate destination was over here, Nippigan Bay. So they would cruise past all these islands. And after Vane Island, for example, and Simpson, then they'd be entering into Nippigan Bay, big bay, but at the other end of it is the Nippigan River, which drains Lake Nippigan, lots of Nippigans here, and that is where the amazing brook trout fishing is, and so that was the plan. So it's early August 11th, August 12th. I'm going with the 11th because that's what most people say. There's a couple that say August 12th. And out past Copper Island here, there is a reef that was marked on the American charts. It's a rock called Bread Rock. And so the captain did make sure he avoided that, but once he avoided that, he looked at his charts. This is all open, this is clear. So full steam ahead apparently, and they just came in through here and look at it. It looks like it's a beautiful open bay. And then woof, right up on, right here, right here, up onto the, up onto McGarvey Shoal. They must have been so surprised.
Yeah.
I feel for the kids, the little kids that must have been freaking out, but anyways, they were stuck here. And that's where you get all messed up with the dates too, 11th or 12th, and then the actual sinking. Because some people say it sank on the 11th, but it didn't, because first they had to get off, they had to get to Rossport, they had to train in to Port Arthur, which is now Thunder Bay, they had to hire a ship, the ship had to bring them back, and all that apparently happens by the August 29th-ish or 30th they were here. So you can imagine that ship for a couple of weeks was just sitting up there. It must have been quite the local spectacle for the people around here. Hard to believe. And then, of course, the whole drama with, you know, to the ropes and the extra ship that we need and everything like that. So they think that either happened on the 30th or 31st. Most people say the 30th. A newspaper reported it on the 1st that it happened yesterday, so that's why some people think it was the 31st. But anyways, for almost half of August, that ship was sitting, just sitting here. Unbelievable. And they left everything on board. They had planned that, you know, it was just going to pull off and they were going to continue on their journey, maybe turn around and go back, and no such luck.
There you go, see? Well, yeah, in calm conditions like this, but you wouldn't know. Then he comes to our side, so we'll just go along next and then let him come to us. Okay, we're holding on now, right? Have you had a nice day at work, sir?
Super nice, yeah.
I'm aiming for our dive to be on the surface about a long dive. But
It's just that it's extracting slower.
I know you know how to do it already, but I'll just give you a brief again. So this is the handlebar. If you could hold this as you come on over, take a seat on the freeboard, work your way inside. You know the rest from there. Thank you. Okay, welcome everyone. I'll give you a quick safety briefing again. We'll do this as per every dive. You've watched the safety briefing, so you know that underneath the middle seats, that's where the oxygen self-rescuers are today. Obviously there's a few bags in the front of yours today, you'd need to reach for those, but we've got 3 under irons. Okay Seth, John here, you happy with our position?
Happy with your position.
With that, my hatch is closed, locked and secure. Equalising valve is closed. Oxygen is running, both air monitors are on. Air conditioning is on and CO2 scrubber is running. Ready to start timer on your mark.
Ready to start timer in 3, 2, 1, set.
Out the top, and the gravity pulls us down. The water will come into those tacks on the outside. We're not using those for buoyancy at all. We will control them. Down we go. Meters to go, so I'll just slow us up here and I'm going to turn on those bottom lights as you're aware. Top side, Ringo, go ahead. Copy that, you are at the bow, over. And top side, we are at the bottom, proceeding towards you. There it is. What I'm going to do now is turn to face it. It's just a walkie-talkie. Turn to face it and we'll proceed towards the bow. Okay, well we're coming along. I want to move a little bit more your way so we arrive at the bow. Okay, so the bow should be right in front of the domes now if you're looking that way. Seeing this right in front of yours. Starting to see it?
Absolutely. Wow.
that at some point. See that? Is that the compass? What's this?
I just have a checklist of all of the different features which have been noted before on the wreck. So I'm just checking, A, if we can see them, B, what the status is it in the same place, is it broken, is it damaged? For instance, that skylight over there, so obviously the glass has been smashed, we can see that quite clearly. So we'll compare that with past images if there are any of it. And if not, then this will be the first record. So for future divers, they'll be able to compare against it.
So the first person to see the Ganilda since it sank was in 1967. Chuck Zegner, he was from Minneapolis, and he, at the time, scuba equipment was still quite new, but he dove by himself with just straight air, which was an incredible feat. The following year is when the Flat brothers from Rossport made attempts to either raise it or at least bring up parts of it. And it was 2 years after that, in 1970, that two men from Thunder Bay, a 37-year-old and a 23-year-old. So the 23-year-old was a dive instructor, and he was Charles King Haig, but everyone just called him King Haig. And along with Fred Brunel financed the trip. And that sadly was the dive that took the life of King Haig. His body wasn't discovered until 6 years later. His body was discovered on the port side of the ship near the stern, so basically the exact kitty corner to where we are right now. It's been dove on extensively. Some divers say they've had over 30 dives on the Ganilda. There was a second death from a diver from Southern Ontario, Mississauga, Reg Barrett, in 1989, and all three, it's just a coincidence that the Ganilda sunk in August. The first diver died on August the 8th, and the second diver died on August the 12th.
Wow.
So August is not the month for this
Is there
ship.
any knowledge of what actually happened to them? What did they do wrong?
Well, with King, he actually planned to do a bounce dive, just sort of down and up, and he thought he was going to go down to 80 feet. So he just in his head just kept going. And they believe that he might have got the rapture, as they call it, that divers get. And his hand was found holding on to a piece of equipment at the back. Maybe he was trying to grab something to bring it back up. It must have just been absolutely shocking for him to realize that he had found it, because they had spent 3 days beforehand searching. Sadly, his young wife, they had just married a couple of years before, was on board the dive boat, as was the wife of the other diver and his 12-year-old son too. So it was quite the emotional time, I imagine, and the fact that it was 6 more years until they found his body. Second diver, there's a lot of mystery about that one. He wasn't very well known. His wife somehow managed to make sure there was no inquest into the event, and there's been many in the dive community that have been sort of demanding some answers from that event. But his body was recovered at the time, shortly after. lot of controversy about who owns this ship right now. The government says it owns it. The estate of Fred Brunel, he apparently purchased it. Paperwork was complete to purchase it from Lloyd's of London. So when the ship sunk, it was insured by Lloyd's of London. Mr. Harkness filed a claim of over $130,000. Lloyd's of London paid him $100,000. It's estimated that the ship cost well over $200,000 to build, which would be about $7.5 million right now. So apparently Lloyd's of London, they would have owned the wreck as being the insurers, sold it to Fred, but they sold it to his company. The company later went bankrupt. So who actually owns it?
Yep.
So we're now moving away from Ganilda. We're starting our ascent. We've completed our survey. It went really well. We were able to see all the way from the bow to almost just, I guess halfway between midship and the stern. There are some wires and some rigging which prevent us going much further, which we knew were there and are still there. Everything, it was good to survey some things. One of the floating ropes which we knew about, we figured out actually looks like a modern kind of rope rather than part of the original wreckage, which is quite interesting. We were checking all the portholes to see if they were open or closed, because that was one of our questions. Most of them were closed, but at least one of them was open. And of course, a lot of the windows on the wheelhouse were also open. The skylights some of the windows were smashed in. That was a question. I wasn't sure if they were still intact or not. The bell was hung up. It was there. It looked like we were hypothesizing that there's less silt around the bell. Maybe that's from diver activity. Of course, that's quite a charismatic spot. A very successful survey. Now, the fun part to write it all up.
A-firm, all readings in the green, ascending to 10. Welcome back to the surface. Okay. Guys, thank you. That was a brilliant dive. Really happy with that. We'll get back on the surface now. We've got to get back on the ship in 25 minutes. Shouldn't be a problem, not too far away. So it's just going to be a normal disembarkation, back onto the dive boat, and then we'll get the submarine and back to the ship. Really. No, did I say marine life? Well, I'm a pilot, not a biologist.
Actually, I am technically freshwater life.
Freshwater.
Oh, it's marine. It's up. It's an inland.
That's post edit. That's
Bigger than some seas.
we went very well, thank you. We got just about everything you could want for the fish bowl. So let's get back to the ship as quick as possible. I'll just bring you alongside now, and then everyone can step off. Okay, guys, you can come and take my place and step off. I'll come around you. I'll just bring you back in again there. Okay, there you are.
Worried about the camera that I'm about myself.
Me too. With that, I shall say, and you. In the words of Jacques Cousteau himself. On the shoulders of giants that we stand. Can I come up with another one?